I couldn't appreciate it there, you know.
Now you've seen it again recently, and you know that it's a knockout, this film.
Yes,
It's powerful, and it is not camp, and I think it's a great film. It's great filmmaking.
And I give myself credit for being brave.
In playing the character?
Yeah.
Approaching it, yeah.
But I didn't rehearse. I asked Brian if I could do that last scene without rehearsal. And I just got into my position, and they fixed it for the lights and everything. And we did it, and Brian came over to me, and tears in his eyes, he said, "Oh, Piper, I'm sorry, would you mind, we have to do it one more time." And so I did it one more time, and it was full and free, and I really don't know which take they used.
And everybody here's seen Carrie, right? I don't know, maybe we shouldn't talk about your last scene, because how they did it, because maybe some people won't have seen it, so we don't want to spoil it for them. Yeah, we won't spoil it for them. Just one or two more things before we sign off. I bet there are some Twin Peaks fans in the house. We want to know about that Japanese businessman. I mean, that is tour de force. It's really your voice, not electronically changed or altered. And was the idea of the character yours, in a sense?
Well, yes, David Lynch called me after our first season, and he said, "We've left Margaret, Catherine, in the fire in the sawmill, and we don't know whether she's going to survive or not. And we want, when we begin the next season, we want the townspeople not to know and to think maybe she burned up in the fire. And I want you to come back in as disguise, your character come back to town in disguise as a businessman of some sort, and create a lot of trouble for everyone. And you pick the kind of man, it can be a Frenchman, a Mexican, or whatever. So I decided a Japanese businessman would be less predictable, and so that's what we did. And spent a lot of time preparing.
And the cast didn't know it was you?
No, that was a very important part, that no one know that it was me, the cast or the crew, or my family, and my poor sister had her asthma came back because she was so concerned. She thought I was fired from the show. They took my name off the credits.
But so it was a secret, except for you and your Japanese assistant and David Lynch.
Right.
And did you carry it off? Did you fool them?
I think we did. How much? I'm not certain. I know Jack Nance, who played my husband, he didn't know. He didn't know until he received a script in which I reveal myself. And that's incredible to me. We had so many scenes we were like this. Here I had this heavy makeup on, this peeling, you could see that there's a weird person there. And if the others knew, they didn't say so, although I heard later that Peggy Lipton thought that I was Isabella Rossellini.
Now, you've written this very frank, beautifully written, moving and revealing memoir, Learning to Live Out Loud. Why did you do it? You've really been a very private person. I can't believe it was easy for you to write the book and to reveal some of the things that you do reveal in the book.
Well, I'm not a writer, but I have spent so much time in my life having secrets, and it just seemed like a good thing to do, to get rid of them. I had learned to communicate in lots of different ways, and this was kind of the end of the road, the best thing that I could do. And also I wanted to get stories straight. And also I've had a really interesting life, And I've known a lot of really interesting people, and I thought it would be fun to share with them.
It is, and I just as a teaser, I can't ignore the fact, and it's in the book, so I'm not making it up, that your first boyfriend later became the President of the United States, Ronald Reagan.
Yes.
Was he charming? Was he articulate? Was he a politician in the making when you knew him?
Well, he was 40 years old playing my father in my first movie. I was 18. And he was utterly charming and very, wanted to take care of me, wanted to know if there were, he wanted to do everything for me. He took me to my first premiere, which we were chaperoned. He was, and then the relationship became serious, and I don't think I want to talk anymore about it.
Were you surprised when he entered politics?
I was flabbergasted. I had no inkling. Although when we used to go around selling the movie, we went to Chicago, I remember, and he jumped up on a counter in a department store giving little speeches about the morality in Hollywood was far better than it was in relationship to the rest of the country. And he was charming as usual, and one of the executives of Universal was standing there with me saying, "Look at that guy, go! Wow, he looks like he's running for president." And he was making a joke. You know, that,
the joke turned out to be quite true.
Yeah. But no, I was married and living in the East when I heard that he was running for governor, and that was unusual.
Doesn't Piper Laurie have the most wonderful voice? A fabulous voice. And I do have permission to say that last Sunday, Piper Laurie celebrated her 80th birthday. And this is what 80 looks like if your name is Piper Laurie. So many of you have been so responsive to meeting Piper and have bought her book. The book is sold out. However, there's a way of still getting her signature and buying the book outside. You can pay for it. The theater will have the book for you within 4 or 5 days, and you'll have Piper's signature. So please join us outside. Buy this book if you haven't already. It's really terrific. And hasn't it been this special?
I wrote it myself.
Every word myself. Hasn't it really been special spending this time with Piper Laurie? Thank you.